Right.
They're the good guys, dude. Don't you remember? Yeah, it's interesting to have conversations with my high school children about what they're being taught in history. And I'm like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Washington, I cannot tell a lie. I'm going to chop your ass down. You know what I mean? Like,
You're incapable of doing such things.
right, yeah. Ben Franklin created electricity with a kite and string.
Yeah. There you go. Now you know.
Yeah,
kids.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
We're going to send you to a university. It's going to cost you about $5,000 a semester.
Right. And when you,
Alexander Graham Bell invented communications with 2 tin cans and a piece of string.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then when you go to this university, by the end of it, you're going to want to chop a dick off. You know?
In some cases.
By the way, that's a prerequisite in 10 years.
Is it? If you want to graduate from Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't surprise me.
Either chop your dick off or take estrogen and grow some titties.
Right? Yeah. Yep. No thanks.
Yeah.
I'll send my kids to a community college then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Get the
I'd
same.
rather eat bugs.
Yeah. No shit. Get the same degree.
Is there a
of
choice
people.
here?
Yeah. Ridiculousness, man.
It's fucking crazy. I heard this one really interesting episode of William Ramsey yesterday, where he was talking about the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Oh, nice.
It was a guest that he had on, and he was saying that the white pope represents the white horse, the black pope of the Jesuits represents the black horse, and all these different the 4 different colors, right? And so the newest one is going to be the green one. And that's the green, the climate change agenda and all that shit. So there's like a new horse that's coming in.
The self-immolation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're using too many fossil fuels. Everybody needs to dump 5 gallons of gasoline on themselves and light a match.
Hold on, I got to fart.
Yeah, this is for the environment. Don't you want to save the environment?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh, dude. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that
because, you know, Pope Francis is a Jesuit, right? So he's the first and only so far Jesuit priest that's been elected as Pope.
Exactly.
Which is very interesting because, from my understanding, when you become a Jesuit priest, you have to take an oath to not take up the mantle of Pope because of the clandestine work that you're going to be doing for the Catholic Church, right?
Right.
So
Like trying to kill Tom Hanks and stuff?
Yeah. And what was that, Angels and Demons or whatever? Or no.
Yeah, the Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci Code. So, but I also found it very interesting. I was telling somebody about, I don't know if it was Theo or somebody else the other day, but like when the Pope, so they have the dove releasing ceremony.
Yeah.
So when Pope Francis, do you know about this? Did you ever hear about this, Davey?
Not sure. Keep going.
Okay, so the Pope, when he was elected, when Pope Francis I was elected as the new Pope, after, what was that, Pope Benedict the Seventh or whatever that was on.
Ratzenberger?
Yeah. That was interesting in itself because that hadn't happened.
That guy looked like the devil himself.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Well, he did have an interesting take on the Catholic Church that was released after he died. It was interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll have to go through that. But
yeah.
Anyways, so Pope Francis was elected Pope, and then they have a dove releasing ceremony where he releases 2 doves out of that window that's like the Pope's chambers or whatever, right? Well, a seagull and a crow came down and fucking killed the doves.
Yeah.
Like in front of everybody.
Yep. You told me that, and I tried to look up the video that was earlier last week, I believe.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the video, but I found stills.
Yeah.
And sure enough, this seagull came in and like grabbed one of the doves by the legs. And then, but the crow came in and it just like grabbed it by the neck, dude. And was like,
Jesus. Talk about a fucking bad omen.
That's
right?
what I said, dude. I was like, this is not good. I don't think God's happy with you, bud.
Yeah.
You know, that's I would take that as bad. And then there was a photographer that same evening that stuck around and until it got later, and then a storm showed up, and he got a really great still shot of lightning striking the Pope's chambers. So I'm like, that's even worse. I'm like, holy smokes, dude.
That's crazy.
And that was like, what, 2012, I think?
Do you think these things could be orchestrated?
Of course. I don't.
It could
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Like the lightning especially could be done by any kind of weapon, right?
Wow, I could be.
Just to make people think like, oh, look, this is the last one.
Could have like done
could
some
be, yeah.
some
This
CIA
just could be-
cloud seeding
Yeah,
over
it could be a
the
psyop.
Vatican that day.
Yeah.
You know.
It absolutely
Yeah.
could be. Just another distraction.
Right? It's like anything's fucking possible, man.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's how I am.
In my so far my journey, I guess, for the truth, yeah, anything's possible, and I don't really believe everything wholly, completely.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly, yeah. But my mind is open, so
Right.
there's that, right? A lot of people are just totally closed off.
Yeah,
And I
they
think
can't
that's-
even have a rational conversation without getting emotional about it and stuff, and it's like,
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
most of the time, overwhelmingly, I would say what people manage to do is string two words, conspiracy theory, together, and then that just completely negates or refutes anything that they
yeah.
are hearing.
Anything. Yep. Anything that comes out of your mouth, you're a fucking nut job.
yeah, right. Well, and then here's the other thing. So, what's the image that comes to your head when you think of conspiracy theory, or a conspiracy theorist, I should say? Like, what is a
A guy
conspiracy?
with a guy with a whiteboard with all these fucking newspaper clippings connected together with string.
Yeah, like
And a tinfoil hat.
wearing a tinfoil hat in his mom's
Yeah.
basement
Alex
on the internet.
Jones.
Woody
Right.
Harrelson in 2012.
Dude, ask people that
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Because almost everybody has the same exact image in their head of what they think a conspiracy theorist is. And I don't think that's by accident. I think we've been pre-programmed that. You go back and look at television,
Absolutely.
movies, and all this crap. And then so when you think
Absolutely.
of conspiracy theorist, you're seeing Walking Phoenix and the science movies in
Yeah.
front of the TV with a tinfoil hat, you know?
I was going to say, yeah.
Swing away, Meryl.
Yeah. Swing away.
The TV programming.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting. They just call it programming.
Yeah. Like, that's everything fucking hidden in plain sight, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, I gotta watch my program. Okay, you do that.
Right?
Well, early on, TPU brought up something that you remember when, so like, of course, we weren't born yet, but back in the 60s in the United States, they would play that video of the Star Spangled Banner or whatever.
Oh, yeah, and all the monuments in Washington?
Yeah, and all the monuments, pretty much death monuments is what they are. Like monuments to sacrifices around the world, right?
The obelisk.
But, and then I looked up the video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then
Dicks.
it was showing like all sorts of propaganda, like flashing it
Yeah, like
subliminally.
government is your God, trust
Yeah.
your God. Did you ever see that video? Bert Sabril, the guy that did A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, he did a video on that
Okay.
and slowed it down frame by frame. And yeah, behind it, because it's. Did you ever see that, Davey?
I have not.
So it's the Star Spangled Banner lyrics scrolling across the bottom, but as the words are rolling out, before that, another word is rolling out. So like your subconscious is picking up this other word, and it's saying stuff like
Right.
government is your God, trust your God. Like basically like
So, like, they live.
they live, yeah, obey, consume. Right?
It's like those Disney subliminal messages with dicks and
Yeah,
shit.
dicks.
Yeah.
Under the sea.
Yeah, that pastor that pops that massive boner when he's marrying Ursula and the prince or whatever. Yeah. At first I didn't believe it. And my sister's like, look, we were like, I was like 12.
He's got a stiffy.
I was like, holy shit. And then my cousin showed me
guys-
the dildo on the castle of the mermaid, the old VHS tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Do you guys know I have a subliminal message in my logo?
Do you?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Look at Nigel's nose and you'll see it. If you can later.
Is that a dick and balls?
Yeah, it's a dick and balls, yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. Your secret's out.
My
man.
buddy, one of my best friends, designed my logo, and he's like, I put something in there, by the way. I'm like, perfect.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
It's just like a nudge or alluding to what Disney does and shit, right? So,
Right? Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
yeah, we had back in the 80s. There was, well, we still have it. It's called Zoodles. So it's like alphagetti and tomato sauce. And on the Zoodles can, there was a palm tree, and you could see it clear as day. It was a dick and balls, like a palm